Girls Higher Secondary School, Kayangalam, and I warmly welcome you all to the Horizon Literary Fest 2021. The 19th of June, which is celebrated as National Reading Day, marks the death anniversary of Puduvayal Narayana Panikka, aka P.N. Panikka, who is known as the father of the library movement in Kerala. The celebrations of this day usually extends a week long. The National Reading Day is celebrated not only to commemorate the late Panikka but also to instill the seeds of reading in young children. Due to the pandemic that's spreading all around the world, we are to celebrate this year's Reading Day at our homes. So let's do it by reading a lot of books and also encouraging others to do it. To make your day more special, we, students of St. Mary's, have made this short video. So please do watch and enjoy.
Greetings on the occasion of National Reading Day. In addition to the knowledge acquired in classrooms, an ocean of knowledge is available through reading. Last year and a half, when we were all confined to our homes due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we all know reading helped us sail through the troubled times. Today, knowledge through reading is available to all as a result of a universal basic education. In addition, the advent and spread of modern technologies have taken reading to a new level. Major innovations and technological breakthroughs are taking place in the field of knowledge and information dissemination. Let's unite to promote the development of our country through reading in print and digital forms. On this occasion of National Reading Day, I urge you to read more and learn more for a better tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Before moving on to the programs, let's listen to a few words by Gayatri Jayagumar, famously known for her poetry work Blossoms in the Mist.
Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. This is Gayatri Jaykumar and an alumni of Kayangalam St. Mary's Girls High School as well as the higher secondary school. So I practically did my 9th till 12th at St. Mary's, and I am more than proud to say that I am a student of the school. Well, presently I am a published poet. I am also working as an IELTS and language trainer. I was working in Dubai, but right now, since all the lockdown and stuff happened, I'm like working from home online. I just came back so that I can spend time here. So I'm still working for the Dubai company for IELTS training, IELTS training. And also I am running a digital promotion company called Pramovani. Also a content writer and also a book editor. So yeah, I'm involved with language quite a lot, and English is always my medium of communication, even if it is for meetings or even my work. It completely concerns with English training and English writing, copywriting, content writing, and everything is included in it. And well, in the context of the reading day coming up, I have to say I cannot emphasize how important reading is when it comes to language. And you can already say from what I've been doing or what I am doing that in an everyday basis, I have to use language quite a lot. And that too, it has to be legible. It has to be impressive, especially working in the advertisement industry and all. It has to be very impressive. Content writing, editing, it has to be perfect. It has to be error-free. And yes, well, IELTS, IELTS and English language training, my pronunciation should also be as good as I write. So quite a lot of language related stuff happening, and I have to be prepared for it like every day. And on the context of reading day, I would say, or I cannot emphasize how important reading is in all these, like how it can improve your listening, reading, speaking, writing, and everything. Starting from my school, well, I used to definitely concentrate on my language a bit more than the other subjects, and well, my teachers have been a huge help in that. I used to write when I was in school itself. And at St. Mary's, all the teachers were so supportive when it came to my language. And I gotta emphasize how my English teachers there, in my 9th standard, I had Laila teacher, and in my 10th standard, I had Annie teacher helping me with my English, and always, always helping me to take it a notch higher. And in my plus 1, plus 2, we had Samini Miss who was teaching us English. And all these teachers used to be really supportive with my poetry as well as my language skills. And they used to make me notice all the little things in all the chapters that we learned. It could be a word, it could be the pronunciation of a word, or the usage of a word. They always made me notice the little things in how I can use that in my writing in order to improve it a bit more. So that is definitely the support that you get from the sisters and teachers at St. Mary's, and I would proudly say that you are all, including me, we are all lucky to be learning under this sort of people and such encouraging and supporting teachers and sisters around, and that is like one huge thing, not something that everyone gets. So, coming up to language, why is reading important? I mean, everyone simply says that reading newspaper or watching news is like one good way to improve your language. Not really. I mean, who enjoys reading a newspaper? And even the news is like always dry and drab and way too serious. So I would say, or I can exactly tell you how I got my English. Like, if you're impressed or if you're happy with the pronunciation that I have, if you're happy with the vocabulary that I'm using, I got it simply by watching English cartoons and reading a lot of books. I am a crazy, crazy reader, and I just read like crazy. So yeah, that is definitely where I got my language from. All the vocabulary, all the pronunciation, all the, sentence structure and everything. So how? Now that is a question. Every time when you're reading something, people are simply reading out of curiosity to know how the book ends, or what is the story, or what do the characters do. But that is just passive reading, or that is just like curious reading where you want to just reach the end of the book and not really know or not really notice the language. Once you start noticing the language, the change will begin. How? That I'm going to tell you right now. So when you're reading a book, the first thing that you have to do is start focusing on the language, as in when you find a new word that you're maybe familiar with but you're not very sure of the meaning. If you find a word that you have heard of but you don't know what it means, you have perhaps heard it in a commercial, TV commercial, or perhaps you have heard your friend or your family or someone or your favorite character in a serial or a cartoon speak that word, pick up that word. Or if you find a word, you do not know the meaning, but it's beautiful, you think that the word is beautiful and you absolutely want to learn the word, pick up that word. Or if you find a word and you think that it could be useful to you in your day-to-day life in sort of expressing an idea that you were not able to express clearly earlier, pick up that word. And then what you have to do is, there is an application. I know that everyone have a smartphone at home. Take up your parents' phone and download the application called Merriam-Webster Dictionary. You can get it on Play Store. It works on both Android as well as iPhone. Take up the application. It is called Merriam-Webster Dictionary. And then when you find a new word, or even if you find a word that you already know, take up the word, search the meaning for the word on Merriam-Webster Dictionary, and it will give you all possible meanings of that particular word. One thing to notice is that words in English, they have multiple meanings. They have multiple usages, functions. Means one word can function or may function as verb, noun, adjective, adverb, or preposition. It functions in it can have multiple functions according to how it is positioned in a sentence. So every time, according to how it is placed in a sentence, the meaning changes. Similarly, for example, if you are taking the word cross, you have multiple meanings for the one word cross. For example, when someone is cross with you, which means they are angry at you. The cross, the holy cross, the Christian symbol. The cross, that is multiplication. This cross, that is addition. Again, when you say you're crossing the road, which means you're going from this side to that side. So a lot of meanings for one single word. Another cross is when you're saying that something is wrong. how do your teachers mark all those right and wrong on your answer paper? They put a cross, right? So exactly, one word can have multiple meanings. Knowing the meanings can help you use the word better. So what you have to do is, even when you're finding a word that you're not, it could be a word that you're familiar with or something that you're not familiar with, check the meaning, make sure you know all the context, or like all the meanings that can happen when the word is put in each and every context. Another thing that you can do is pick just 3 words from what you're reading every day. It could be your textbook, it could be from a book that you're reading. Pick up 3 words, not more than 3 words, okay, and not less than 3 words. And then write it up on a board or on a small piece of paper and stick it on the wall with the word written in big font using a sketch pen or a marker, and the meaning on the other side of the paper. So that way, when you're looking at the word, you will see the word but not the meaning. You will have to flip the paper to find the meaning. And throughout the day, you should look at this word and make a sentence using this word in your head. Never write it down. If you're going to write these words down into a book, you will only end up having a book full of words which you are never going to learn. So make sure that you're not writing this down on a book. Make sure that you are putting it on a sticky note, like paper, that can stick on the wall. Make sure you're reading it every day, and make sure you're making a sentence with the word every time you see it. So and also, while you're reading, definitely notice these words. Pick up 3 words like I said, and make a sticky note out of it. Stick it on the wall. Every time you see it, make a sentence with it in your head. Don't write it down anywhere other than the sticky note that you're sticking on the wall. Okay? And then what you have to do is, while you're reading, make sure you are noticing all the beautiful word combinations in what you're reading. For example, you see something, or while you're reading, there is this particular word combination. You read it and you go like, wow, I wish I could write like that. Pick up that word combination. Write it down in a similar way. Okay? And then just go through it every now and then make sure that you understand what it means. Start thinking about it, start using it, and you will end up having, better word combinations. And one thing that you have to always make sure is that the number of sticky notes on your wall should never exceed the number 3. Always make sure that you only have 3 words on your wall so that you don't overburden yourself with a lot of words. Okay? So while you're reading, pick up words, pick up word combinations that are beautiful. Now, if you're asking me what word combinations are, these are just, beautiful way of referring to things. Like, for example, there is this usage that Shakespeare uses in order to talk about dawn. Dawn is like that time right before the sunrise, and he says, right after the night, the rosy-fingered dawn settles onto the sky. So the rosy-fingered dawn, that usage, rosy-fingered. Another thing that you can do in order to improve your language is where you watch cartoons, like I mentioned earlier. So when you're watching cartoons, what happens is that, now the difference also, I would say, like why I'm not asking you to, watch English films or English news, is because almost every time we have to focus on the content in order to understand what it is while we are watching news, or, while we are watching films, and not all of the context sort of appear in our life. But when it comes to cartoons, I agree that the characters can be a bit too unnatural, sort of, like, you have animals talking and you have weird animals or weird characters coming in which are not real life. But the situations are real life, like going to school, getting ready for school, playing with your friends, talking to your parents, interacting with your neighbors. It always gives you better language, better real life like contexts. And the best thing with cartoons is that since it is made for children, you can definitely understand what is happening in a cartoon. All that you have to make sure is that you pay attention to what they say. And make sure that whatever you're watching, be it cartoons, be it films, make sure that you're watching something that does not have subtitles for it. Because subtitles just makes you sit and read everything. They don't help you listen. So one step or your first step towards getting better language is to start watching cartoon and make sure you do not have the subtitles on. You can definitely take the cartoons from YouTube. All the early day cartoons, not the present day cartoons, by the way. There used to be something called Tiny TV on Pogo and Cartoon Network. So there were these cartoons like Oswald, which is of a blue octopus and a doggy called Weenie. Then there was Noddy. There was Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls. Then Looney Tunes, Baby Looney Tunes. Then there was Franklin. So these are all, and also Dragon Tales, Strawberry Shortcake. So these are all extremely good cartoons which you can use in order to improve your language. Now, why this is really important, I agree that not every parents will allow you to watch cartoons for a long time, but just have faith, because this is something that I've been doing with my students. And actually in Dubai, I have trained students who are like 21 years, like 45 years and all, like, you know, they are like grown men, but they have never been to school because they have always just run their business for their family and never had the chance to go to school. But then they come in to learn IELTS, like, you know, they have to pass it in order to go to UK and set up a business, and they have to learn the letters, the language. And just by, I had to teach them all the alphabets and all, but just by watching cartoons and by reading children's books. Okay, so when I say read, I would definitely suggest that you read children's literature, like writers like Annie Blyton. There is Roald Dahl, there is Ruskin Bond is a very good person you can read, or R.K. Narayan. So these are, like, you know, really good writers whose book you can read and improve your language and get those beautiful word combinations as well as useful words for your, you know, everyday life, or better expression of things and all. So I made them read the children's literature, like very basic one. Those people, like very basic one, they were just barely starting to read. So, like, you know, we started from nursery rhymes and all. And within a month of watching cartoons and, you know, reading children's literature, they actually cleared their IELTS with extremely good scores as well. So I know this work. So my tip for you during this reading day is to read more, but while reading, don't read for the story, but read for the language. Notice the language that you're reading. Notice the words that you're reading. Notice the word combinations that you're reading. So definitely read, and I have already suggested some authors. So make sure you're reading their books. Along with that, watch cartoons, and it's okay to watch cartoons even if you're big. I still watch cartoons, by the way. So it just keeps on improving your pronunciation and your language. Like I said, I have never gone out of Kerala for my education. I have always done my education in Kerala, like at St. Mary's and all. And you can already see my language, and I have got this language only by reading books and watching cartoons. So you can see how effective that can be. So I'm definitely a living proof as to how much reading can help you. So like I said, when you're reading, don't read just for the story, but read for the language. It could be poems, it could be essays, it could be stories. Understand the language that you're reading. Make sure you understand the meaning of the words that you're seeing as well. So that is definitely my lesson or my tips for you in order to improve your language. And happy reading, definitely happy reading. Watch cartoons, and I hope you all use these tips to improve your language. Put these into use in your life, and let me just, like, you know, hope that everyone comes up with extremely good language, like competitive level language. So all the very best to all of you. Keep reading, be happy, bye, and take care.
Now, let's listen to a message from our teacher.
Respected headmistress, sisters, dear colleagues, and my dear children, we celebrate Reading Day to remember the famous personality P.N. Panikkar, who devoted his entire life to enrich the people through reading. It also reminds us the importance of books and the need for reading. Today, I would like to share some ideas about reading habits and students. Francis Bacon, the father of English essays, says that reading makes a full man. No doubt that reading is a wonderful mental exercise. It provides knowledge, and we know that knowledge is power. Books are the most powerful and sincere companions and help us to know the world around us. Reading stimulates the brain of a student. It enriches the brain by allowing the mind to remain sharp even up to old age. If you fail to exercise your brain, it will fail. You have heard that if you don't exercise your body, your muscles will decline. The same thing goes for your mind also. If it isn't exercised regularly through reading or studying, it will decline. Reading makes you to think. Watching TV keeps you passively involved where your brain will not work. Whereas while reading, we are actively participating in it. My dear children, in this pandemic situation, we are in digital classrooms. You may think that the role of books is negligible in this online teaching learning process. But it's not like that. You should read books. It will broaden your vision, improve your imagination, creativity, and helps you to inculcate good values. If you have the habit of reading books, you will become mentally and morally powerful citizens. So love books and keep reading books. Let me conclude my words with a word of thanks to the Reading Club for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Dhanasree from class 9A. As we all know, 19th June is Reading Day. Let's listen to a conversation between a mother and daughter. Mom, I'm so bored. I don't know what to do. Well, what about reading a book? Mom, please don't say that. I don't like reading books. Try to read a book continuously for 1 week and I'm sure at last you will be in love with that book. Then you will never say that you don't like reading. I don't think that will happen. Give it a try and let's see if I'm right or wrong. Mom, you were right. Now I love this book. This book influenced me so much. Sometimes it felt like the characters in this book are my friends. I want to read more books. Thank you, Mom. See, this is how reading works. You may not like reading at the beginning, but if you do it continuously, I'm sure you will love it. Do you want to know what are the importance of reading? Reading is vital because it is how we discover new things. Reading develops imagination. It helps in building one's vocabulary. It also helps us to connect with the world better. Reading helps us in so many ways. So what are you waiting for? Let's start a new book today. I'm going to read one right now. What about you? Let's do it together. Thank you.
Respected teachers and my dear friends, I'm Leanne Thomas of class 9A. It is my privilege to be Reading Day to address all of you to remind you of the importance of reading. Why is reading important? Yes, because it is a habit that can make you a better person. Reading gives us knowledge and inspiration. Shall we go for a game? Okay. Now, I would like to check your knowledge in literature. In our English language, there are so many great writers and poets. Now, I'm going to show you a few of them. You want to identify them? Are you ready? Okay, let's go. So guys, here is your first picture. Can you see this picture? Okay, you have only 10 seconds. Your time starts now. 10, 9, 8. Okay. I will give you some clues. Sitting in a porchway cool, fades the reddy sunlight fast. Now, guys, I know you got this person, right? You are so brilliant. Yes, it's Victor Hugo, a French poet, novelist, dramatist of romantic moment. The author of Les Miserables and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Next. This time, the game is so simple. He's very famous. Can you identify him? He is regarded as the greatest writer in English language. He is often called the Bard of Avon. His works consist of 37 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 narrative poems. Yes, you are right. He is William Shakespeare. Try to read his dramas. It will be a great experience. Now you got 10 points. Here is your last one. And remember one thing. If you fail to identify, you will lose all your points. Because she is the pride of India, a gifted writer. Nalapat, Neermadalam are some of the words that can help you identify this person. Yes, your guess is right. She is our Madhavikutti, Kamala Suraya. Guys, you all played well. Now, our game is over. So guys, take a resolution or promise to read as many books as you can before next reading day. Thank you.
Haven't you guys heard about Tom Sawyer? You haven't? Well then, do you want to know about it? Let's go and check the video.
Good morning, all of you. I'm Amrita Ranjit of class 8F, and today I'm going to do a role play of Tom Sawyer. Let's go to the visuals. Oh, it's Monday morning, and I have to go to school, and I don't have more holidays left with me. What shall I do now? I hate going school. Oh, I have to do something. Oh, my stomach, I think it's paining. Oh, it's paining too much. No, that didn't work. Okay, I had a wound on my toe last time. Let's make a trick on that. Oh, it's not that much big and it's not paining. What shall I do now? What do you understand from this? A boy who's not interested in going school. Of course, all kids are like this. If you want to know more about this story, read the book Adventures of Tom Sawyer, written by Mark Twain. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, dear. Do read Mark Twain's Adventures of Tom Sawyer and get to know more about the story. Wait a sec. Do you guys hear that? I guess it's the sisters next door. I just hope it is another COVID case. Let's go check it out.
9, 8, 7,
What are you counting, dear?
6. They are falling fast now. 3 days ago, they were almost 100. It made my headache to count them, but now it's just easy.
What are you counting?
3. There are only 5 left.
What?
Leaves on the ivy vine. When the last one falls, I must go to. I have no dad for the 3 day now. Did not the doctor tell you?
I will never heard such nonsense. What have old ivy tree leaves to do with your getting well? Don't be like despair. Don't say it is just a pneumonia. You will be alright. Why you saying don't be despair? It all be alright soon.
Oh, it's a case of pneumonia. Do you want to know what happened to the sister? Then do read The Last Leaf by O. Henry. Speaking of pneumonia, I wonder where our doctor is. I haven't seen him for days now. Let's go check what he's up to.
In these days, I was a great admirer of beauty, and I believed in myself making more beautiful. I was unmarried and doctor too. I would shave daily to see me more beautiful or more handsome. I was unmarried and a doctor too. This is an attack smile, yes or no? But I think it's an attack smile. So, I will keep this attack smile on my face to look me more handsome. Or after all, I'm a bachelor and a doctor on top of it. I will get married. Yes, I would marry a woman doctor. Had plenty of money and so good medical practice. She had to be fat for a valid reason. If I made some silly mistake and needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me.
Ooh, our doctor's been daydreaming. I don't know what's gonna happen now. Do you wanna know? Then don't forget to read The Snake and the Mirror by Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. Oh, I totally forgot. The lawyer had something to tell us. Let's go hear what she has to say.
Quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed, it blesseth him that gives and him that takes. It's mightiest in the mightiest, it becomes the throne, at monarch better than his crown. His spectre shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this spectre's way. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, an earthly power doth them show likest gods when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this that in the same cause none of us have to seek salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teaches us all to render the deeds of mercy.
Are you confused about who it is? She is Portia, the female protagonist of the story The Merchant of Venice. Do you want to know what made her a lawyer? Then read the book The Merchant of Venice by the famous writer William Shakespeare.
Every night in my dreams I see you, I feel you, that is how I know you. Go on.
Far across the distance and space between us, you have to show you go.
Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on.
Once more, you open the door, and you hear in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime, and never let it go till we're gone.
Love was when I loved you. One true time I hold you, and my love will always go on.
Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on.
Once more you open the door, and you hear in my heart that my heart will go on and on.
You're here, there's nothing I fear, and I know that my heart will go on. We'll stay forever this way, and you're safe in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
Good morning, everyone present here. I'm Kavya Manoj from 8A. Today I'm here to present a speech on benefits of reading. Reading is a good habit that one needs to develop in life. Good books can enlighten you, inform you, and lead you in right direction. There is no companion than a good book. Reading is important because it's good for your overall well-being. Reading develops language skills and vocabulary. Reading books is a way to reduce stress and relax. It's important to read a good book at least a few minutes to stretch your brain. Books are really your best friends. You can rely on them when you're bored, upset, depressed, lonely, or annoyed. They will accompany you anytime you want them and enhance your mood. They share information and knowledge anytime you need them. Good books always guide you in correct path of your life. Reading helps you develop positive thinking. Reading is important because it develops your mind. It helps you to understand the world around you better. It keeps your mind happy and enhance your creative ability. Well, that's all I have for today. Hope you're staying safe and healthy. Thank you.
Everyone, I'm Hriday Sujit from 80. Today I am trying to tell some quotes related on June 19 National Reading Day. Let us remember, one book, one pen, one child and one teacher can change the world. By Malala Yousafzai. The only one thing you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. By Albert Einstein. Thank you. Have a nice day.
A home without a books is like a tree without birds.
My dear friends, today I am standing in front of you to say a few words about reading. Reading is a conversation. All book talks, but good book listen as well as. This is the word written by the Mark Haddon. That's all. Thank you.